Main thing is you continue to fight. This is the main thing everybody asks.
Definitely.
Oleksandr Usyk recently stirred excitement after suggesting that his ideal next opponent could be one of the most feared punchers of the past decade, a comment that instantly reignited speculation about his future in the heavyweight division. The Ukrainian champion.
No, I continue fight. I think next year I won't fight with Deontay Wilder. For me, I think it's interesting.
And made it clear that surrendering one of his titles did not signal a retreat from big fights. On the contrary, he appeared more motivated than ever to pursue the matchups that truly excite him and define the sport. Just days earlier, while attending the WBC convention in Thailand, he addressed the ongoing belt discussion with confidence in front of fans and officials. Usyk stressed that his mindset and standing remained unchanged, even if the number of belts he currently held had briefly shifted. Though he now possesses 3 heavyweight titles instead of 4, he carried himself as if nothing essential had been lost, assuring everyone that the situation was only temporary and that he still viewed himself as the undisputed leader of the division. Usyk's choice to relinquish the WBO title came shortly after the organization ordered a mandatory defense against Fabio Ward, who had earned his opportunity by defeating Joseph Parker for the interim.
When I say myself, Alex, enough.
Okay.
I feel, hey, Alex, you win all belts. Okay, for what? I wanna work because I love this. It's not just work. 8 o'clock you wake up, go to work 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, back home. You don't have power, you don't have energy, you don't have anything. When you go to home, for example, your son say, hey papa, maybe you go to bicycle, yeah? Oh no son, because I tired, I wanna eat and go to sleep because tomorrow I must go to work. For me, another. I work 3 months, 6, 1 year and a half, but I have sometimes rest, yeah? This is rest time for my family. Every time.
Version of the belt, Usyk showed little interest in that matchup and instead elected to vacate the title, a move that sparked widespread curiosity, especially as the WBO quickly elevated Wardley to full champion status. Following the decision, 2 very different explanations began to circulate. On one side, his advisor Sergey Lean suggested that Usyk wanted to clear the way for emerging fighters, giving younger contenders a chance to compete for a world title without being held back by an established champion. From that perspective, the move was framed as an act of goodwill toward the next generation. Usyk, however, offered a far more straightforward explanation when speaking elsewhere. For him, the decision came down to pursuing fights that aligned with his personal ambitions. He emphasized that boxing is ultimately a business, and he preferred to focus on opponents who truly matched his goals and motivations. From Usyk's perspective, Wardley simply did not generate enough interest. A matchup with Joseph Parker, on the other hand, would have been far more appealing, but that option disappeared once Parker failed to defeat Wardley. With that outcome, Usyk saw little reason to invest time and energy preparing for a fight that did not motivate him. Instead, he chose to look ahead, setting his sights on a potential showdown he believed would carry greater meaning and excitement for both himself and the fans. The fighter who...
Hi everybody. I'm happy to be here. Listen, I have 4 belts, yeah? Now 3. A lot of people say, hey, you're not undisputed champion. Okay, it's temporary, but I have 4 belts. But my favorite, it's green color every time. No? Every time. More green, yeah. Thank you so much. Mauricio, thank you so much for what you do. I like Thailand. I first time, but I like. I will back. Thank you.
Ultimately caught Usyk's attention was Deontay Wilder, widely regarded as one of the most dangerous knockout specialists of the modern era. Usyk was drawn to the challenge, viewing Wilder as a major name whose resume needed no explanation. Although no formal offer had been made, Usyk spoke as if Wilder was the only opponent on his radar. He made it clear that his team had not discussed any other options, and that, for the time being, Wilder was the man he wanted to face next.
If win Parker, for me it's interesting. Win worldly. For me, not interesting. I say it's true. Okay, give you belt, boxing. Maybe later we fight together, like a big fight. It's only my mind.
Next in the ring. At the same time, the IBF complicated matters further by ordering a final eliminator bout between Jared Anderson and Frank Sanchez. The winner of that fight would become Usyk's mandatory challenger, potentially forcing the Ukrainian to face whoever emerged victorious. Anderson in particular was keen to rebuild momentum after suffering a recent knockout defeat. Usyk's moves over the past few years reflect a pattern of tough choices and ongoing negotiations with boxing's sanctioning bodies. Following his dramatic win over Tyson Fury in May 2024, he briefly...
Why Deontay Wilder? Because people are saying maybe he's not as good as he was.
This is world champion guy, this is very famous guy, this is strong guy, but it's Odin is one of his great heavyweight last 10 years.
Interesting. And when did you decide that you want to fight Wilder? Have you told him? Is the team making negotiation?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Is there any negotiation?
Є перемови зараз вже з командою Валдера.
Oh, no, it's, I say only now. It's like special information.
Oh, okay.
We speak, yeah, I speak with my team. I say, this is first задание.
First option.
Yeah, first aim.
They unified the heavyweight division by holding all the major titles at once. A rematch with Fury quickly became the main focus, but the IBF instead ordered him to face Daniel Dubois again, a demand that made the rematch impossible without surrendering a belt. Usyk opted to vacate the IBF title and moved ahead with a second fight against Fury, which he won once more in December. After those consecutive victories over Fury, Usyk returned in July to settle unfinished business with Dubois. That bout ended with him regaining the IBF belt he had previously relinquished, restoring his status as champion across all four sanctioning bodies. However, almost immediately after achieving that, the WBO stepped in to enforce its own mandatory challenger, this time Wardley, who held their interim title. His appearance in Thailand also offered insight into his mindset beyond just belts and opponents. While discussing the WBC, he spoke with admiration about the iconic green belt, long considered one of the most prestigious prizes in boxing. The atmosphere at the convention seemed to lift his spirits, and he talked warmly about his time in the country. His calm, relaxed demeanor made it clear that losing one title was not bothering him. If anything, he appeared far more focused on the opportunities ahead than on what he temporarily no longer possessed. Back in the UK, discussion around Usyk's next move intensified once more following his dominant display against Daniel Dubois. Their rematch at Wembley Stadium saw Usyk drop Dubois.
If Fabio Wardley, you're fighting Oleksandr Usyk. Is that not wild? Is that not crazy? You're fighting Oleksandr Usyk potentially for undisputed. Now, I saw enough holes yesterday, and this is not me nitpicking, but it's true. I think even Ben Davison kind of spoke about it on stage as well. I saw enough holes where if I'm Usyk, I'm like, okay, I can capitalize on this. But telling you now, if those bombs land on Usyk, one of them, fuck now. Don't tell me like, you know, it's funny, like, there'll be some that like, oh, Usyk will beat him. Guys, I'm telling you now, yeah, Usyk obviously favorite. Obviously, Usyk's one of the greatest of all time. But I'm telling you now, if one of those bombs land, it's lights out, mate. It's lights out.
Dubois twice in the fifth round, sealing a decisive stoppage victory. The win further cemented his status as the world's leading heavyweight and reminded fans of the precision, calmness, and control he brings to the ring. At 38, Usyk brushed aside any suggestion that he was slowing down, insisting that his age marked the beginning of a new chapter rather than the end. Immediately after defeating Dubois, he hinted that several names were being considered for his next fight. The heavyweight landscape became even more intriguing when reports surfaced of Anthony Joshua's unexpected involvement in Usyk's training camp. Joshua traveled to...
You know, you had so many amateur fights. You know, Wardley's story, he only had 5 fights before professional.
I know.
No amateur.
Yeah,
you find this crazy?
It's crazy, man. I very respect this guy because this guy do a lot of work типа зі своїм тілом, with his body, yeah. The work like this, like a training every time. I think it's great man.
An obvious question, so this means you will continue to fight, because everybody is asking, is Oleksandr Usyk continuing to fight, or maybe one by one every belt go?
No, I continue fight, I think next year.
Spain to work alongside Usyk's team while preparing for his own upcoming bout against Jake Paul. Training with the man who defeated him twice came as a surprise to many, but it also underscored the mutual respect between the two fighters. From a strategic standpoint, the decision made sense. Jake Paul fights from an orthodox stance, unlike Usyk's southpaw style, which meant direct sparring was not essential. Instead, Joshua contributed in other ways, sharing his experience and insights to support the preparation process. Joshua's upcoming fight with Jake Paul sparked widespread debate, with many viewing it as a high-risk matchup. Despite Paul's popularity and physical size, his experience at the elite level of boxing remained limited.
2 fights for Oleksandr Usyk.
Next, maybe show fight with Alex Pereira. Maybe. Why not? Alex wanna.
His resume featured victories over aging legends and former MMA fighters such as Mike Tyson, Nate Diaz, and Anderson Silva, with his only professional loss coming via a points defeat to Tommy Fury. Facing someone like Joshua marked a massive jump in competition, leading most analysts to label Paul a heavy underdog. As Joshua concentrated on Paul and Usyk focused his attention on Wilder, Usyk's recent choices once again reshaped the heavyweight title picture. His decisions handed the WBO belt to Fabio Wardley and opened the door for either Jared Anderson or Frank Sanchez to emerge as his IBF mandatory challenger. Joshua, recovering from elbow surgery and eager to rebuild momentum after...
Style.
Listen, we not help, we not give my style. My team, it's not only one lion, it's only Usyk. No, we have another разные, a different style. I'm southpaw, yeah, my position this. Anthony this. Anthony not like this move like me. Listen, we give to what help Anthony grow. My team do the plan, give me what help me. My team give this plan what help you, Bogdan, Max, and but not only my plan. It's not my work. My team do new work. Anthony, look, this is work like this. Okay, I try.
Being stopped by Dubois the previous year, was preparing for one of the most unusual bouts of his career. Meanwhile, Wilder, the opponent Usyk wanted most, remained an electrifying possibility that fans could not stop talking about. Amid all the changing circumstances, one thing never wavered: Usyk's confidence. Whether discussing future opponents, mandatory challenges, his age, or the titles he continued to collect, he spoke with a calm assurance that he remained fully in control of his journey. He made it clear that temporarily giving up a belt meant little in the broader context of his ambitions. With several paths open before him, Wilder, Joshua, or even the eventual IBF mandatory Usyk, found himself in a position where every option carried real intrigue. The heavyweight division continued to orbit around his choices, and his insistence that any setback was only temporary left fans eagerly anticipating how soon he would reclaim the title he relinquished, and who would be standing across the ring from him when he did.
You're not going to that camp just for Jake Paul, because he could have gone to fucking my camp to beat Jake Paul.
AJ's been in camp with Usyk.
Taking it seriously for it to get fucked off at the final minute.
What better camp to go join than the master himself?
What he's doing is he knows that he's got, 1, maybe 2 years left, maybe 2 years. So he's gone to the Usyk camp. There's motivation behind that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You're not going to that camp just for Jake Paul, because he could have gone to fucking my camp to beat Jake Paul. But he's going to that camp for the future of next year, where he could be fighting Dubois, could be fighting Fury, whatever.